Hi, and welcome to WarHQ. My name is Lucius, and today what we're going through is some of the recent projects I've been working on with Last Day's Zombie Apocalypse. Now, before you can see some of the miniatures that I've been working on, and this consists of two teams, so we've got one here, and we have one here, and also a host of zombies that I've been painting and having quite a bit of fun with, like while we've been isolated with current world events. And yeah, hopefully this gives you a bit of inspiration to, want to pick up the brush and get your survivors and zombie miniatures painted. That's all we're really hoping for. So if you like this kind of content, then please stay tuned. Okay, so this is the first team I've been working on. The concept behind it is fairly basic. These guys are selfless, and it's centered around this selfless leader. Now, he's a business CEO, and these are some of his staff, and I'll go through them briefly. It's a bit of my sort of funny team. I wanted a sort of a funny team like you wouldn't think might survive the zombie apocalypse, I guess, and that was my main concept with this. So I see these guys as having been holed up in some massive skyscraper somewhere, and their leader being like a shoebox karate expert, like he is, like he's got the the fake black belt, he's got the mullet to match. He's a bit of a tough guy who works out. His karate pants here are a bit torn up. Now this guy, he is really the backbone of why these guys survived, I guess. Now he had all the supplies and stuff at his in his high rise. He's a super rich millionaire. But the main thing is they haven't actually had to go into the real world before, and this is what I wanted to sort of theme this around. Like, maybe these guys have run out of, materials and resources and food, and they've had to venture down into the real world. And that's why they're inappropriately attired, I guess you'd say. Like, high heels, skirts, stuff like that. Not stuff you generally take in a zombie apocalypse or choose to wear if you had a choice. So he's armed with a military submachine gun and a club. And the club is this briefcase, which is, not sure, it's probably like lined with something steel, or it's full of rocks, who knows. But anyway, he clubs zombies with that while he shoots them with this. Pretty effective in the games that I played with him. As long as he didn't get taken out early, the submachine gun, especially the military submachine gun, is very handy. Definitely a really powerful gun in this game. Now, I've really tried to go for the, what you see is what you get kind of thing with these models. So I was kind of limited with how I armed them, obviously. His right-hand girl, I guess you'd say, is this chick. And you can see her here. She's really awesome. High heels, dinner dress. This could be his wife, his girlfriend, who knows. But she is mean. I made this lady a goon. So basically, it makes her her endurance a little bit better. She's got a close quarter combat. She's athletic. And she's armed with a surplus submachine gun. And I also threw her a knife in there as well, just for stabbing zombies in close range, because she does have a good close combat ability as base. Now, the good thing with this lady is, in the first games, I managed to level her up, and then she rolled on the table for what she got on her attributes and got an extra endurance. So she's actually got 5 endurance. So in the second game I played, she was really hard to kill. I could put her in positions where other characters couldn't go because they would get shot down by other fire from your opponents. But this lady was able to go right into the thick of it and survive. And then this gun in itself is really powerful. So opponents were starting to fear her by the end of the couple of games that I had. They just avoided her altogether. So you could put her in fire lanes and protect yourself. Now this is the Japanese intern, and she's in the typical Japanese schoolgirl uniform and the blue and white here. What I like best about this model, I think, from painting it, is I quite like what I did with a highlight, like the creases on the white. I made my own wash. I think I made it out of Hull Red, which is a Vallejo paint, and just watered it down until I got to the right consistency. The idea with this team is I wanted to make them look more comical, I guess, than realistic. You know what I mean? And I wanted to give them bold colours so they stand out on the field, because they're not a tactical unit or anything, not like the army. They're just some selfless people who've been holed up, and then they come down trying to look for resources, a little bit ignorant of what's actually going on, I guess. And she's got the heavy blade katana. I was using her to tie up zombies mainly, like charge zombies and kill them. Quite effective with a heavy blade. This lady, you can see here, is really, I think I took as a rescue worker. Whoop, if I don't drop it, I took her as a rescue worker. So with the rescue worker, I see her as like, the head of the HA department in the office or something. So she was able to, she's got the first aid kits and the abilities. And I've just got her with a semi-auto here. I was using her a lot in the games really to capture resources because I wanted to keep her alive so I could get her first aid training skills. I could use them, utilize them like, post-game and stuff like that to keep people alive. So I didn't want her taken out. So I'd always get her in there and she'd be grabbing resources and then leaving, which was actually a really effective tactic because she ended up leveling up a lot quicker than the others because she'd get the full 6 points for getting an objective and taking it off the field, and then she'd also get the D6 points for surviving a battle. So, and she was usually unscathed, so didn't have injuries. So that made her quite strong. Another member of the team, one of my favourite miniatures, and this one I based off kind of my wife, who's into leopard print and green and fur. But yeah, very impractical footwear. This chick is a Good Samaritan, I took her as. So with a Good Samaritan, she's got an inspirational presence, which is good. Helps people break away from zombies when they need to. So she's got that inspirational presence. She's academic. She's and got close quarter combat as well. So she's got the semi-auto, which is in pink. There's this like a common joke that my wife and I have. Like every time we went to because we're both competitive shooters. Every time we'd go to the gun shop, I think this is a real man invention where they've said, let's get women into shooting, so we'll make pink guns, I haven't come across a lady yet that likes pink guns. I mean, most ladies I know like big revolvers or they're like, tactical military firearms, you know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. I modelled this one with a pink gun, just a bit of a dig at my wife and the leopard. She loves this kind of stuff. So it's, this chick's a Good Samaritan. She's good for boosting people's morale. And she's also pretty handy with that pistol, which, she's pretty bit of an achiever in the battles. Probably the character that fared the worst, I think, is this one. And I just took her as a survivor, gave her academics and athletics. She's got the semi-auto pistol. So what happened in the first game, and I think this sort of set the tone for subsequent games, I guess you'd say, is that she tried to grab resources and get out of there, which is probably the theme of my team. I wasn't sort of thinking of a stand-up shoot team. I was sort of thinking of just a team that could get in, grab resources, get the points done, and then leave. And this chick got mowed down the first time she tried to do that. So what that did for her is after the battle, she got shell-shocked, so -1 AP. And that was on the first game I played, so there was nothing I could do to change that result that she got. So she's shell-shocked, so now she's a bit slower, she doesn't react as quickly. And then in the second subsequent game, she got taken out as well in nearly the same way. So she's about the only one who hasn't leveled up. She's still on 0 experience points, which is pretty funny, where the rest have all kind of gone up, particularly level 2 on these three, level 1, and 0. That's after 3 games. So this is just a little bit of a look at my first team. This is the second team I worked on, and this is from the biker set. And it's pretty much just the 5 biker models that came in that cobblestone casting biker set, and I really like these ones. They really came out good, and I've modelled them as a gang so that they are all dressed the same. So they've got denim pants, they've got white shirts, and they've got black leather jackets. That's the main theme that binds them, I guess. Now, I have taken them as a selfish team. So this is our leader here, and really, really cool model, this one. He really looks the part as the more veteran, older biker. Got this cool decal. I think this is from Epic or something, from Titans. That's how old that was. Even the decal itself didn't really want to work. That's how old it was. It took me ages of soaking it to get it to work, but I've used the same white effect on here with him on his white shirt as I have with these guys. I think it works. But this is our leader. He's aimed with a military submachine gun and has a knife as well. And I found him to be super effective. I think I got up to 3 games. He got up to level 3, just because he was getting so many kills. He ended up with 10 kills, I think, by the 3rd game. And just this military submachine gun just wrecks stuff. It's really good, and especially as the selfish leader, he's really good with it as well. Now his sort of offsider is this guy here, and I took him as a tough guy. So tough guy, you can see him there. another really awesome miniature. He's got the helmet, he's got grenades, hopefully something I can add on later. He's got this like chain that he hits people with, which I've taken as a heavy club. He's got a surplus submachine gun. Eventually I'll give him a pistol as well to go with it, and then some explosives as well, I guess, like some grenades or Molotov cocktails or something that can help represent the rest of his weaponry. But yeah, this is sort of like the right-hand man, the muscle, I guess you'd say. He was pretty effective in the battles as well. This is a really good zombie weapon, this heavy club, for whacking those, and other characters too. It's quite useful for that. Now, the third guy is this guy, who I've taken as a goon. So another heavy kind of fella, big burly looking lad. He's got the sunnies. He's got the knife, you can see there. So he's got a pump action shotgun and a knife. Really good biker weapon, I reckon. Pump action shotgun goes with it. He's got the ponytail, the glasses. Love it. Military water canteens. So he was another pretty good one. I think this guy did end up getting his arm dismembered or whatever it is in the game, like on the second game. So I don't know what I'm going to do with him afterwards. I'm probably going to have to give him a single-handed weapon because I don't think you can use two-handed weapons anymore. So he did get injured. Fourth guy is this guy. He's probably the only thin dude in the team, and I've taken this guy from the Seasons book. I've taken him as a burglar, so this gives him like scavenge skills and stuff. He's a little bit more of the sneaky kind of dude, and he's got a pump action shotgun, and he's also got a knife. Eventually I'll give him another handgun as a backup weapon, or a revolver, that looks like. But yeah, cool kind of model, as all these ones are. I'm really happy with these biker models. I think they look really cool. That's him. Probably the, my favourite model in the team. It's just because it's such a cool model. And I've taken this lady as a crony. So cronies are really cheap, only like 3 points, and they've got really bad stats. But what they do provide is inspirational presence for the others. So you can sort of see here, this is a real biker chick. She's rough as guts, but her power, and from what the book says, about cronies, is her power is derived from, befriending someone powerful who would be like the leader, the selfish leader. So that's how she's become powerful, and she inspires the others through that. So she's not very good at fighting, but ultimately I used this lady and she actually did really well, even though she only had like really low base combat stats. By the end of it, she's already a level 2, and she's increased a firearm skill. She's increased a few things like a morale, a couple other things. So she's approaching being good. I took her just as a cheap option, but she ended up being quite an integral part of the team. So that's the second, and this is really just like a biker gang that has survived a post-apocalypse. They're pretty much holed out in their biker sort of clubhouse, and yeah, they're coming out for resources and gear. These are the last ones left of their bike gang. So anyone subsequent I get to this team is going to have to be like a neutral character or something, which probably isn't a member of the bike gang, which is going to be interesting. So that's the second team, and I hope you enjoyed that. Just going to give you a really brief look at some of the Wargames Factory zombies I've been doing. I did do a video on this one recently, and the miniatures aren't the best quality, and the variants you can get aren't amazing, but ultimately they make really good zombie miniatures. And I've got 30 of them. Here's the first 16, I think it is. I've still got 14 left to paint. I've done a couple of these on some live streams I did. But yeah, this will give you just a little bit of a close-up. Fun thing was, I played this on the weekend, with all this shutdown and everyone's in home and stuff at the moment. I had my nephews over, and we had a ball playing this, so we played it all weekend, and they just delighted in naming the zombies, you know what I mean? So each of them has its own backstory, and it was really funny. This one is Wazza the zombie. He was, at his barbecue one day, just cooking some sausages on the barbecue, or some snags as we'd call it in Australia. And then his neighbour come over and chewed on his brain hunk. But Wazza is like he's an exemplary zombie. He's pretty good. This one here is the kid's favourite. This one's called Ahmed. You can see here is Ahmed. He's got his he's camouflage and stuff on. He's got the bullet holes in the back, so he's Ahmed. They just love saying the name, I think. You got your token doctor zombie. This guy's like pretty hectic stages of decay. Half his face is missing. You know, I use a lot of different Citadel Games Workshop paints for this one. Nurgle's Rot is really good over, and then these reds that look like blood, they're like the red contrast, I think it's Blood Angel's red, makes really good blood. And then if you combine the blood, like up here, you combine the blood with the Nurgle's Rot, it gives us this real glassy, natural, oozy effect, which I quite like. This dude's pretty cool. He's kind of been, he was out running or something. He's got like his Nikes on and his running pants, and just stopped to look at some hot chicks or something, and then they ended up eating his brain hunk and his arm. He's got some bone exposed there. He's seen better days. He's a buff zombie, and this guy's funny. Sort of experimented with sort of this stripe pattern on his pants. I think it came out all right. It's not too bad. 2 tones of different colours there and some shade effects. I got the surfer zombie. This guy's been chewed pretty hard. A lot of his face missing. Some serious wounds, starting to get a bit mouldy, as you do when you're a zombie. You can see that Nurgle's Rot and the combination with that and the contrast really popped the miniature a bit. As far as those wounds go, it looks kind of real and oozy. These two are cool. I worked on these the other day. I made this colour up myself. I can't remember what colours are mixed together, but don't really come up so well on the camera here, but they are quite glossy. These are like my chain gang prisoner zombies. So I've got this one. He's missing bits and pieces. And then this is his mate here. So there's 2 of those prison zombies. And this is American prison. I kind of done it without any reference photos. So this guy's been shot in the back. He's all wide-eyed and crazy looking. This guy's advanced stages of rot. Like, he's really rotten. This guy's whole face is sort of almost to the skull. His arms chewed right back to the bone. This shows you a couple of different variants you can get too. Like some of these you'll see are based on the same body types, with different heads, different arms and legs and stuff. This is like the the mechanic zombie, the mature mechanic zombie. You can see like the foot wound and stuff looks pretty cool and oozy. Yeah, there's just a selection. Like he's the one holding the foot. He's like Night of the Living Dead kind of zombie. Striped shirt. Kind of see that there. So yeah, it's just a little selection. So zombies. So the purpose of today's video is really just to go through some of the last day's miniatures that I've been painting over the last week or so, I guess. We had a bit of a gaming session on the weekend and it went pretty good. So I hope you've enjoyed this content. If you do, please like and subscribe to our channel. Please comment below if you've got any questions. Otherwise, have a good day in your probably involuntary isolation that you're in like the rest of us. And be safe. This is WarHQ signing out.